and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And welcome if you are new. If you don't know who I am, I'm Kita and I make videos on business, entrepreneurship, marketing, money, and everything around the line of lifestyle and adulting. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the things that you need to know before you go ahead and launch your influencer campaign on WhatsApp. And the reason I'm making this video is because I see a lot of vendors making these mistakes. I see a lot of business owners, new and old, making these mistakes when it comes to influencer marketing. The truth is that if you're able to hack influencer marketing, you can make a lot of money. But if you do it the wrong way, you are going to lose out. But what are the things that you need to know? The first one is that you need to know your target audience. Now, look at it this way. If you don't know who you are trying to sell to, you won't have an idea of how to present it to them. Whatever it is that you are trying to sell, you won't know how to present it to them. You also will not know where you can find them. It is through knowing who they are that you are able to know how to present your offer to them and how to find them, the best place to find them. As a hair vendor, for instance, you may be selling budget-friendly hair. So let's say your prices are within the range of 10,000 to like 50,000 naira ears. That means you most likely will be selling to students or young people that don't really have a lot of money to pour into luxurious hairs. You're not selling to high-end consumers or people that have a lot of money. You need to think of it in terms of hair is almost like a status symbol. So if you're selling within those prices, it means that your target audience is most likely a young person within the age of like say 20 to 25. It could depend. There are other people. I'm just using this as an example. So your target audience could be within the age of 20 to 25. Most likely your target audience is a female. So you cannot use an influencer that does not really have a female audience. So it's not even about whether the influencer is a male or whether the influencer is a female. The question is, does the influencer have like a female audience? Another thing that you need to know is the age of your consumer. So let's just say that your customers or your target audience are not within the age of 20 to 25. Maybe they are a little bit older, like 30 to 35. You will most likely need to find an influencer that is around that age group, that has these people within the ages of 30 to 35 on their like maybe status or in their community. That's a community of people within that age range. So you not just go to somebody that does not have that age range and then start saying, oh, can you influence with my brand? You also need to have like an idea of where they are at in life. Are they students? Are they working class? All of this will inform you. So you find an influencer, a lifestyle influencer that kind of fits into this. Because as a student now, there's a chance that you would most likely follow closely the lifestyle of other students or maybe people that have recently graduated than you would somebody that is in their 40s and like taking their fashion recommendations seriously. So you have to think about all those things too. You also need to look at their location, because for some businesses like food businesses, as I've learned, food business is very location based. So you want to make sure that you're working with an influencer that is within your location, because people want to trust that the influencer has actually tasted what they are selling. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, if the influencer has not tasted it, it's going to be hard for the influencer to sell people on that particular thing. At the end of the day, this is like, we can call it sales, because you are trying to sell ideas to people or trying to sell, information to people. So you understanding who your target audience is goes a long way in finding the right influencer for your brand. So the right influencer will be somebody that has the right age group, that has the right location, and has buyers. So let's look at it again. Look at the prices of your products. You want to make sure that the influencer that you are using has an audience that can afford to pay the prices of your product. So if you are selling things that are in the millions and you are approaching an influencer that is like a student that does not have like a strong community of people that have money, people that have high buying power or high purchasing power, you most likely the leads may not be quality leads for you. There may be quality leads for another person that is selling low ticket offers, things around 3k, 5k, 10k that students can afford. But they will not be quality leads for you that you are selling something more expensive. So a very important thing for you to note is purchasing power. Can people afford to pay for things that you are trying to sell them? The second thing that you need to put into consideration is engagement. Now, a lot of influencers will tell you that, especially I'm talking about WhatsApp posting. When you see me, influencers, I'm talking about WhatsApp. So you see some WhatsApp influencers, all they have to show you are metrics, number of status views. Oh, this also amount of people viewed my status. This Kiniko viewed my status. So you can see like 1,000 views, 2,000 views. The question is, do people engage their status? Do they have conversations with their community members? Does it feel like their community members hold their recommendations in high demand? Or do people just connect for connecting sake? Now, there was an influencer I worked with, and people were just sending me messages, and they're just like, add me up, add me up, add me up. I'm like, what the fuck? What's this? Like, I already knew from that point that I was not getting quality leads from this influencer because they did not fit into my target audience persona. That thing is that they did not feel like people that engage. Now, there's a difference between having contacts and having a community. Community, kind of, there's a bond between you. It could be you as a vendor could have a community. There's a bond between you and your customers and the people that are within that your community or within that your tribe. You guys engage with each other. It's not like you're just posting and nobody is saying anything. So before you go ahead and work with that influencer, you want to make sure that there's actually a community of people that engage and discuss. Like, she posts screenshots of actual discussions on our status or on his status, and you want to reach through all of those engagements. What do the conversations look like? If the conversations are just like this, I don't know if I call it brass conversations, not this weird, you just know that this person may not have quality leads for you, right? So you want to make sure that there are actual conversations that this person is having with their community members. I also want to know if people ask this influencer for recommendations. For instance, do they post, for me, like if I post something that's like maybe a book, a journal. When I got this journal initially, I had a lot of people which asked, Kita, I love this journal, where did you get it? And I'm like, oh, I got it from so. I'm not telling because I was not paid. So I did recommend a lot of people to this journal, to the small business that sold this journal to me. But yeah, a lot of people reached out. Kita, where did you get your journal from? Can I get the journal from that same person? And then I just sent them the contact. So now this was not a paid thing. This is just me on a regular day posting something that I have or I use, and people ask me. When I made this, a couple of people asked me, how did you make your hair? What is this attachment? Is this? When I got this whole thing done, my decor, a lot of people asked me, who was your vendor? I'd like to buy from that particular vendor. And when I wanted to buy this thing, I also reached out to my friend's vendor, to my friend Tamara, and she also has a YouTube channel, by the way. I don't know her YouTube channel name, but she has a YouTube channel. I'm guessing she should be Tamara. But yeah, so she did connect me with the vendor that did this thing that sold me all of these pieces and everything. But that's because she's an actual influencer. She has influence, right? People trust things that she recommends. Now, you see some people don't trust what they recommend. People don't trust what they recommend because all they do is just post links and videos. They just post links, add up, follow up, kiniko. Like, so you want to make sure that you are working with somebody that actually has influence. And that kind of influence you are looking for is kind of influence with substance. Right? It's not just influence for influence sake. Somebody that is like relatable, valuable, somebody whose opinion holds water. It's the kind of person you are looking for to represent your brand. Because at the end of the day, this influencer is representing your brand to their community. Let's make sure that people are asking them for recommendations. So that means that if you play your cards right, people would be interested in exactly what you're trying to market or sell to them. So another thing that you want to make sure that you check out is how good they are at storytelling, at marketing, at sales. Do they sell things themselves? Are they making sales themselves? See, it's hard. See, if the influencer that is marketing does not have one thing that the person has sold of their own thing, how do they want to help you sell your own? Personally, for me, I sell a lot of digital products and I make sales. I sell courses, I sell consultations, I sell my newsletter, I sell a lot of things. I make sales personally within my community, even without running ads. Like, I don't think I've ever ran an ad for like a paid product. Most of the sales I get are within my community. So that means I can generate sales. It means I know how to market. Rather than somebody that cannot even sell their own thing, and you are trying to generate the leads of people are not the leads you are trying to generate, they are not people that buy things, and you're trying to generate leads from that person. So you want to make sure that that person actually is able to make sales for their own brand. Make sure is that they understand marketing psychology. If they don't know how to get people to do things, then I don't think you should be working with them. The best influencers I know are influencers that are good at telling stories while engaging their audience. So you want to be sure that this influencer that you're trying to work with is able to tell stories, is able to connect on a deeper level your brand message or your offer to their audience. They're able to tailor it and customize it specifically to their audience. And one thing I realized is a lot of people they are influencers that just post generic, and they don't understand marketing, they don't understand branding. So when they post, it's just post, right? There's no storytelling, there's nothing that makes this ad more interesting than any other thing that people have seen all day. You need to understand that people are exposed to several ads every day. They know somebody that does what you do already. If the influencer cannot make you more appealing and much more interesting, at least while introducing your brand to their audience for the first time, it means this influencer may not be like a very good influencer. So ideally, you want to work with an influencer that is interesting, an influencer that can tell stories, and an influencer that understands marketing. And the only way to know this is by seeing how they run other people's ads. How do they treat other people's projects? Do they market other people's stuff? So you want to make sure that before you even start working with this influencer, you've monitored the way that they do their thing. Have you been influenced by them? Have you seen an ad that they ran and you are just like, I'm convinced I need this thing from this particular brand, or I need to connect with this particular person just because this influencer has said so? That's when you know that yes, this influencer actually has influence. A lot of people get lost in metrics, like, oh, let me see the number of views that you have, and they forget that it's beyond the number of views. You might have a community of, and I'm talking WhatsApp, right? You might have a community of 1,000 people, and out of those 1,000 people, about 700 of them are engaged. That is about 20% engaged community, right? Which means that you are going to get more returns from that sort of community than you will get from a community of like 2,000, 3,000 people with only like 300 people engaged. So you have to understand that it's all about engagement and activity, and how influential the influencer actually is. Another thing that you want to be aware of is the rate card and the budget. Something I do when running like influencer campaigns for my business is that I always make sure to reach out to different influencers, but are like I know that this influencer and this influencer are friends, share communities. I like to work with influencers that kind of share each other's communities, because when I start my campaign, I usually do my campaign at intervals. Like, this person posts, then you see this person is also posting about this thing, and this person is also posting about this thing. So somebody that is in all, maybe like I'm working with, sometimes I work with 6 influencers at the same time, 7 influencers, 5 influencers. I just work with as many influencers as possible as my budget can take. So you see that this person is posting an ad, this person is posting another ad, that same ad, like, then you begin to wonder, maybe you belong to all 4 communities with all 4 influencers. You begin to wonder, who is this person? Who is this person? That's how I like to run my ads. I want people to feel stimulated and feel like something must be going on. I need to be part of whatever this thing is. So I'll say that make sure that you're not working with just one influencer. At least you need to work with 2 to 3. influencers actually get premium results. And it would be great if those influencers kind of share community members. That would be great. A good way to find influencers that share community members is by asking them to refer you to other influencers, so you can like work with other influencers, and maybe they are friends, they know each other. It makes your work easier, like it makes your offer much more believable. Speaking about the price and the rate card, you will most likely find an influencer that you can afford. As you grow in your business, you'll be able to afford more and more quality influencers, but you need to start small. When I started with influencers that used to charge me like, I don't know, like I think my first influencing campaign, which I ran with 4 influencers, I spent about 30k to 35k. The next one I did, I spent about 40k. And then I had this campaign, I spent like 50k on influencer marketing. And I had this campaign, I did like almost like 150k, on marketing. So it all depends on budget. So you just work with influencers that match your budget. So that said, you need to belong to a lot of these communities. Check out the influencers rate card here and see what influencers fit into your budget. The important thing to consider is the values of the influencer. What kind of person is this influencer that you want to work with? Do your values align? Maybe you're a Muslim, you sell scarves, and you want to run an ad with somebody that, like me, likes to show a lot of cleavage. You have to be very aware of that person's values and your values too, right? You don't want to work with somebody whose values does not align with yours. You have to actually sit down and think about the things that guide you as a business owner. Is it honesty? Do you feel like this influencer is also an honest person? Is it integrity? Is it authenticity? Do you feel like this influencer is living a sort of fake life? Is that the kind of person you are? Is that the kind of person people you want to attract? And so you need to think of all of these things when choosing your influencer. Make sure that your influencer is somebody that your brand values align. For somebody like me, I'm very, very open about a lot of things. So if your brand is like a very close brand, like I most likely will not work with you. And I'm very community focused personally. If you are selling something that is going to hurt my community members, I'm not going to take your ad. If during the course of us running a campaign together, you do something that also affects my community members, I'm going to cancel that campaign. I'm not going to work with you again as your influencer. That's the kind of person I am, right? I don't take nonsense from brands, from any brand. I'm going to call the brand out and I'm going to say I'm not doing business with you. That's the kind of person I am. That's my value. To work with an influencer that is also like me, an influencer that prioritizes quality. That's the kind of person I am. Alright, so you just want to make sure that you're working with an influencer whose value aligns with your value. Another thing you want to consider is long-term relationship. First type of marketing is the one that is long-term. You want to work with people for a long period of time so that their community naturally thinks of you as being like community brand for that particular thing that you sell or do. Right? So long-term relationship is important. You want to build a relationship with your influencer. It's not just that when you want to market something, you now run to your influencer. I want to market. Beyond that, you want to converse, engage in their community. Because when you engage in an influencer's community, they know you and they're able to trust you more and kind of market your brand extra hard. So it's different from when they are marketing for a total stranger that they do not know. If they're marketing to someone that's been marketing for someone that's been engaging in their community, there's this strong connection. They probably know a lot more about you and can put in more words for you in front of their community. You think long-term influencing is very, very effective. So say 1 month, at least 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and then you start to build a very strong brand presence. That's some of the things you need to understand when it comes to choosing your influencer. But besides that, you need to understand that there's some things that are not your influencers for. For instance, your offer, your core offer, the way you present your offer, the things that are in your offer, are they aligned to what your customer would actually want? Are you presenting your customers with what they want? There's only so much an influencer can do. If your offer is bad, it's not going to sell. There was a time I made an offer and the offer was not clearly communicated. We ran the ad did not do well. So I had to tell the influencers to pause. We went back to the drawing board, redesigned our offer, and I also had to create more vehicles to kind of market this offer that we had. We had to make videos, we had to make more graphics and flyers just to help people understand what we are offering to them. So sometimes it is not the influencer, you're not providing enough materials to work with. So you need to think and put yourself in the shoes of your customers. Have empathy. Can they understand what you are trying to sell to them? And a 5-year-old understand the thing that you are actually trying to sell? Or are you making it too complicated or jam-packing so much into a single flyer that it's hard to read, is hard to understand? So a lot of the work has to do with the way you are offering what you are saying. So you want to think in terms of videos are very powerful. Videos are more powerful than flyers, and flyers are more powerful than just product images. So that's how you want to be thinking about it. Think about your offer very well. I hope that in a future video I might talk about how to create good offers that sell. Another thing is, after you've gotten the leads from the influencer, now you have leads from that influencer. The question you want to be asking yourself is, how are you going to nurture these leads? How are you going to get these leads to buy from you? Most people will go to influencer to get sales, and I have to tell most vendors that come to me, I'm not promising you sales. There's a chance that people are going to buy from you because they trust me, but I'm not guaranteeing you sales. It's not my job to get you sales. It's my job to get you leads, potential buyers that are signaling interest in your product or in your service. It is your job to convert those leads into buying customers. That is going to depend on your approach. So when you get leads, what do? You introduce yourself to them and you help them understand your brand and the personality that your brand has. Don't just become a robot after generating it. Hopefully this is a topic I'd like to delve into and explain further. That's all I have for you guys today for this particular video before choosing an influencer. I hope that this video was very helpful. If you don't know, I currently have a paid newsletter where we have over 100 business owners who are currently learning how to market their businesses better, how to make more sales, how to organize their businesses, how to make money like in the different ways, teaching them a lot about money, finances, and all of that on the newsletter. So if you'd like to be part of our newsletter, you can check the description box below where you'd see the link to our newsletter page, so you can learn more about the newsletter and hopefully subscribe and join other 100 subscribers. If you actually loved this video and you learned a lot from this video, please give this video a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. It will help this channel reach more people. So if you're not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Honestly, I'm looking at growing this YouTube channel to, I don't know, I'm just going to pick a number. Let's just say 50k this year. I don't know. I know that if I'm consistent, we are going to get there. And I'll be dropping a lot of gems like I've dropped in this video. So be sure to tell your friend that there's Kita Vibes, the channel where you learned about business and all of that. And tell them to subscribe as well. We'll be expecting you some business money. You know what? Bye bye. It's okay. I'll see you guys later.